Last week, when we started our challenge, let me see first if everyone can see me. Write in the comments. Yes, cool. So last week, we began, it was our first week of the 30-day challenge. It's a kind of movement, and we have already 100 amazing, courageous women who joined our community, and they are interacting, like they are doing their exercises on how to unshame their story, and it's amazing. So we began, the first week we began with the breaking silence, with the naming shame, with the speaking our truth, and setting boundaries for safety. This week, though, is a bit different. This week, we are going deeper. So I'm telling you again, if you have not been part of our community, I'm going to show you, walk you through today and show you at the end of this presentation about our school community and how it works. So this week we'll go even deeper. We are going to teach you how you can reconnect with your identity and your self-worth. Because if you are not connected with your identity, with who you are inside, and the sense of your worth, how you can be visible in the world, how you can speak and live truthfully and authentically. So this week we are going deeper. This week is about identity, about looking at the stories that shame wrote on us and then reclaiming the pen to write our own. Week 2, how to reconnect with your identity and self-worth. So day 8, today is the day, 8th day of our challenge, which is second week. And we are going to focus today about the story shame told about you. It's a lot of lies that you have grown up with, and it has shame. The shame has told you these things, these lies, so that it has shaped your identity. And today we are going to start with what are those lies that shame has told you, and what are the truths about you and who you are. So this powerful, there is also a powerful question that I want you to go and answer it in the comments. What story did shame tell about you? You know, this is not a simple question. It requires a lot of reflection and self-awareness. And you can start this self-reflection by doing the challenge from first day. A lot of people I have taught in the beginning told me that I don't have any shame. I have not grown up with the shame and honor culture. But you know, when you go deeper, when you do the first day challenge, the second challenge, then they realize, oh my God, yeah, I had this shame and I wasn't even aware of it. My mother told me you should always behave this way. You should dress this way. And I carried this shame because I thought if I am not following what they are saying, it's a shame for me. You know, like shame is very deep, and it's so many people still are unconscious about. It's not because it's not easy. That's why it's a very powerful question when it comes to shame. But when you start writing, telling, and even reflecting on that, on your daily life, how you speak, how much you feel authentic, how much you are filtering yourself inside, how do you talk to yourself? These all came from the shame you grow up with. So now let's go and talk about that. Why stories matters? Because the stories shape who we believe we are, what we believe we deserve, and how we allow ourselves to be. So stories are very powerful, and there are always two sides of stories. Remember, it's always two sides of stories. that you tell yourself. The stories we carry about ourselves, about our worth, shape everything. How we see ourselves, what we believe we deserve, and how visible, how much seen we allow ourselves to be in front of, like in your career, in a meeting, in your family, how much visible you allow yourself to be. Shame always writes false stories about us. And when we don't challenge, when we don't question them, we end up living inside someone else's lie. We live as we have always a mask inside. We don't really truthfully live as we want to. So there are lies that shame has defined for us. Shame has many lies. For example, shame tells you quietly that you are not enough. You are too much. You don't belong. Your voice doesn't matter. If you want to be loved, you must stay small and be quiet. And we believe these lies because they were repeatedly, so many times by your family, your culture, your society. But this is the truth. They were never truth. They were never part of who you really are. These are all lies. I want to take you to my own life because everything I am teaching today is not based on theories. I have lived that. I have lived my whole life, 3 decades, and I have been through so much pain. And that's why today I want to tell women that there is shame that has told you these are lies, these are not the truth. In my own life, shame told me to stay silent and you shouldn't dream too big. You must always obey, stay small, and never make others uncomfortable. No, never. And I believed that story for many years, and I just obeyed and followed that. But I knew deep inside that voice, that story was never mine. It was written by others who wanted me to feel, to be invisible, because they also thought that being invisible is being safe. So the day I saw that lie for what it really was, I could finally begin to write my own story. And that is exactly what we are going to do this week. So if you really want to reshape, reconnect with your identity and sense of worth, stay with me. Come, the first thing, come and join our community and then go on your space, do the exercises, do the challenges every day. Because I promise you, at the end of this 30-day challenge, you will not be the same woman who started it. And there is a truth about shame's story. The story that shame have told you about you is not yours. There is always two sides of a story. There is a lie, and that lie the shame has given to you from your childhood, since you grow up, you were born. But then there is a truth, another side, the truth about who you are, about your being. So that story that shame told you, it was always projected to you. It was taught to you. It was borrowed. And today we shine a light on it. The lie was always the shame's voice, and the truth is your voice. And you are going to reclaim it with me together this week. Why we do that? Because when you name that lie, that shame, you begin to reclaim your own truth. And the shame lose its power. And you regain that power to you, you know? Until you don't name it, until you don't reclaim it, that shame, that lie still has power inside you, your whole being. But when you start reclaiming that, owning that truth, then it doesn't have any power. Then you regain your power back. So this is the challenge today I want to give you. Today's challenge is very simple, but if you do it, I promise you, you will get through so much transformation. It's very simple, but it's very powerful. I want you to write down the story shame told about you in just one or two sentences. What was it? What was that lie that shame told you that you are? Okay, I give you examples. Maybe it was, I am not smart enough. You know, a lot of women say that, oh, I'm not at all smart. I cannot do this. Or it can be, I must be perfect to be loved. A lot of us grew up, especially if you have come from a culture, from a family that you have been always punished if you have not performed well, but then have been praised or have been good care if you have done well, then that person has grown up with perfection. So we have been conditioned, we think that if I am not perfect, I will not be loved. But that is not true. Or it can be this that I should never be hurt because if I am hurt, then I will be rejected. I will be hurt. So whatever it is, first of all, the lie, I want you, because this is the self-reflection and is very powerful. First, write it. What are those one and two sentences that the shame, the story that shame has told you? Write it, post it, and share it in our community. And then end it with this ritual that I am unashamed of. Okay? Write down what you are unashamed of. Because when the moment you see that lie clearly, you can begin to rewrite it. Now, I want to tell you as an example. I was working as a career, like in a career, I was working as a supervisor in education with with the government, and you know, I had so much shame inside that I couldn't speak up. I couldn't tell who I am. And even among my colleagues, I never raised my voice to object because I said, if I want to be safe in my job, I should never speak up. If I want to be safe, you have to be small. You have to shrink. And this is the problem it came. This is the pain. The more I shrank myself, the more I was quiet, the more I was hurt. You know, the more I felt that I am lost. I don't know who I am. And that was the moment I started to the moment I started to shrink myself. I felt like day by day that I'm not living myself. I'm not living myself. I'm just shrinking myself. And I lost the sense of my worth, my identity, and who I was. It was so painful journey. That is why even from the beginning, and that time I didn't know that I am carrying a shame. I thought this is how it should be, you know, like I know exactly there is something wrong and it shouldn't be, but I couldn't figure out what is it. I couldn't figure out that this is shame I'm carrying. This is the lie that shame is telling me, and I should reflect on that. I should question that. And I went through pain for the whole 10 years. I became, the more I shrank myself, the more I felt worse, the more depressed I felt. And it was all because of this shame that told me this lie. And when you start reflecting on that, on this lie, you begin to rewrite your own truth. So, what I want you to do, sisters, is that shame has maybe has been writing a story about you, about your life, but it is not true. And today, you are going to reclaim it with your pain and you begin to rewrite it. And this is where transformation happens. Not by hiding the lies, but by naming them and replacing them with truth. You shouldn't, if you don't feel still ready or safe, don't share everything. But if you want to be part of a sisterhood, a safe place where you can, at least, even if you are not ready to write it, but to observe, to see how many other people like this other woman. We have 100 people, we have 100 courageous women in our community. How they are unshaming every part of their story. You get inspiration. You get that, yeah, this is I am living with. This is how I have been telling myself this lie, and I'm carrying this shame. And then you start slowly, slowly, you start to unshaming it. So this is your challenge. I want you to do that. This is because of the week, the second week, I am live in Facebook group. The rest of the week, we have the all live trainings, recorded trainings, the challenges, exercises, and all the posts and interaction. We have it in our school community. And the reason why we chose to be in a different, more safe space is that we wanted to create this community for our sister to be able to really go deep, unfilter everything, those lies, and be so open with themselves and write it, share it, and get inspiration in this community. In Facebook, it is great, but you are still, you don't feel safe. Everyone can be. That's why, like, when you come to this school community, no one no one will judge you. Everyone wants just to unshame their story. Everyone wants to network, help each other, lift each other. And the most important thing is the transformation. I can't wait to see all your reflection. And I want to tell you to remember that you are author now, not the shame. And your story is unashamed. So go and do your exercises, and I'm looking forward to read all your challenge that you are doing in the post in our community, and also looking forward for tomorrow on day 9. But before we finish it, I wanna let me show you. Let me show you our school community, because I think this is the most important part. I want to show you how does it work. Okay, then you can see my screen now. Great. So this is it. Like just in just 1 week, we have got 100 members. All are these women. Everyone just want to unshame their story, and they're sharing every part of their story that should release the shame, that lie. This is 100 members. And if you come here, you see these are all like just I'm so amazed. Like, it's amazing how, like, just see the comments. Everyone wants to, like, do they're sharing about boundaries, about cost of the silence, about yeah, the voice, all day one, day two, everything. We have the trainings here, but also, if you want to go faster, you can come to our classroom. So if you come to our classroom, you there is this one, the Unshaming Your Story, where you can see other master classes. Like these are the best performing master classes that we have here. You can go on your own pace and watch them. But for now, this 30 days challenge is here. Just go and watch them. Like if you go inside, you will see all the courses. If you want to just go all in one, uh, all of them takes maybe 5 or 6 minutes. But if you feel this is for you, then don't hesitate and join the community. Okay, thank you so much for